All right, welcome back for round two. I see that. Oh, let me close my. You get what you get. I told you. I warned you about this. Um, Welcome back to round two. I distracted myself. Sorry. I hope that this will be more on target. Clearly, I'm holding up to that promise so far, right? Why? It can only get better from here, folks. Um, so today I mentioned the that I wanted to have an ability system that wasn't quote magic. And so I wanted to kind of explain that some since I just charged right into zones and stuff the other day. So let's talk about let's talk about the ability system. So we're over here in gameplay. This is the core. You've played an ARPG before. You don't care about this. Um, yeah, so I wanted to have a system where, let's talk about Megas XLR. If you have never you if you like fun and you've never heard of Megas XLR, you like where have you been? Wake up and go. You committed a crime, I feel like. You need to watch this cartoon. It's like, let's talk about my video game. You need to go watch a cartoon first, though. But you should. Um, if you're awesome, you'll go watch this cartoon. Um, you're gonna see a lot of inspiration from Megas. I just love this show. Um, I kind of grew up with my son watching Megas XLR. And I say that jokingly, but not so jokingly. I mean, I'm joking, but it's truth. Like some truths are just funny, and I did. We grew up together watching this, and it's just great, funny stuff, and I miss it. And so I'm borrowing a lot from it. And if you've watched the show, which I hope you paused the video and you did watch the show, I'm not going to continue. You go watch at least one episode of Megas XLR. I dare you. And I'm going to give you let's see, it's 6:49 here right now, and you have a pause button. So I'll give you an infinite amount of time to go watch an episode of Megas XLR, and you come back at 6:50 my time, and we'll get started talking about it. Okay, so it's 6:50 my time. We're gonna go ahead and get started talking about my system, and how it borrows from Megas XLR. So you've watched now, and you know Coop, and you know Jamie, and you know how ridiculous they are. Or maybe you don't know them yet. Maybe you've only watched one episode because, you're lame and didn't get just dragged into this show. And maybe you didn't think it's funny. I don't have pity on you if you didn't, but I can't help you, like anyway. So, um, you know how like when they're fighting and they're like there's this witty banter going on between them and like Coop will say something just ridiculous like he'll just start calling them names and stuff and it will it will have an effect. Even if they don't speak the language, they'll stop and they'll stare at him while he goes through this stupid monologue. And then everybody in the car is looking at Coop like, can we fight the alien? Like, what are you doing? Well, I want to have that because it's fun and it's funny. And I want to bring that to a game. So the idea is your character will have a resource called wit, and you expend your wit to to use banter, and banter are just funny things that your character is going to say. So maybe, you like you tell your mom joke to an alien and then you punch it in the face. Uh, so as I'm coming up with this idea and I'm just brainstorming, I'm like, well, what goes with like we don't have classes. I mean, it's kind of silly to, like have a class if you're just engaging in banter as your as your skill tree, right? So I got to think of what's the thing that drives what kinds of banter you would be using, like are you a jock or are you a nerd or whatever? And so I did some research and sure enough, that translates to real life. You got your nerds and you got your popular dudes and you got your bros and you got your athletes and so this is like a real thing and it's out there, the personality types. And so I stole it. I just straight up was like, hey, let's bring that into a game. And I didn't have to design classes or anything because, architect sounds like a class. Logician, that sure, why not? Protagonist, yeah, let's call them that. And so, yeah, so that's the quote class system that you'll pick from. You got 16 of them, so that seems pretty good. What I'll probably do is something where you like pick kind of a role that you want to participate. Do you want to be an architect or a diplomat or a sentinel or an explorer? And then over time, you refine that into a specific personality type. So you might not start with your personality type fully formed at the beginning of the game, but as you explore the island and you make your way clockwise, and isn't that fascinating? So for real, like just for a second, if we can get real, I guess I can get real. But like if you think about it, like you're piloting this mech and stuff, and you're going like clockwise around this island, and you end up going down into the sea at the end of the game. And if that sounds familiar to like watching the hands of the clock go around and things getting hard sometimes and things getting lighter sometimes, and you work your way around the entirety of the clock until you go down into the sea, maybe you'll start to figure out um, some of the underlying themes of this game because it's funny and we're going to have a good time with it, but there is a deeper meaning here. And I'm not going to force any ideas on you, of course, but like I have my beliefs, and those things are going to come through in the game. And I just think it's kind of cool that we work our way clockwise through the game, and it's almost like you can see the days of your life passing as you work through the game, and then in the end you go down into the sea. So if that sounds in any way familiar and relevant to your life, then maybe you'll enjoy this game and you might know where it's going and some of the underlying themes that are going to show up about redemption and love and grace and fun and joy and happiness and love of people. And I just hope I'm making a good game that you're gonna love and that I can share with you. So whatever. Let's get back to wit and banter. So banter are the special abilities, and if you want to, like it's not a magic system, but it kind of is. Like you you will depending on your personality type, you'll have access to different types of banter. Um, what did I say here? Because I've already thought, so why am I not just reading to you guys? Let's see, because I didn't write down. Where did I put it? Okay, yeah. So like a sentinel might specialize in taunts, boasts, or shouts. So a lot of bravado with sentinels, where an architect might specialize in like contemplations or quips or formulae. So, like, your shoelaces are untied, whatever. I don't know. So that's banter. They're your special abilities. So you got your guns and stuff, and it's pretty obvious what guns do. I think we all know. Missiles and laser beams and that kind of fun stuff. But banner things are a little more subtle, but can be equally powerful. Maybe more so. So yeah, just an example. Okay, so I'll read through this real quick. Kurt is a defender and Marcus is an architect. They're exploring the tidal basin together when a massive Wrathgore mauler charges toward Marcus. The charging creature's snapping claws, there should be an apostrophe here. What kind of idiot doesn't use an apostrophe for possessive? Uh, I'm gonna get demonetized. Can you get demonetized when you're not monetized? I'm gonna get double demonetized for using the word idiot, aren't I? And probably yelled at. I'll get in trouble for sure. Sorry. Okay. The creature's snapping claws draw closer to Marcus as he turns to face it. The megaphone of Marcus's mech crackles to life. Excuse me, but how do your tiny legs support the mass of your body? It's illogical. The alien swoons and stares at its spindly legs. Kurt looks at Marcus and shakes his head with disappointment. Over the line, we hear Kurt speaking to Marcus. Nerd. There's a loud click of feedback as Kurt's heavy bass speakers come online. Hey, you fugly, worm-faced, toothless, dog-loving, I can't even say the words. Why don't you get over here and eat laser beams? As the alien slowly recovers from the confusion of not understanding how it can physically walk, it becomes enraged and charges Kurt. So, like, first we see like a stun, which is what happens when it has to wonder how it can walk, this giant thing. And then we see Kurt come in and like bravado his way into getting the thing to charge him instead of Marcus. Um, and it's just their funny commentary that's doing it. So it is an ability system, but it's not magic unless, it's just you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's the ability system. And figuring out the fun is going to be figuring out what each one of these personality types brings to the table. I just love that these are like real personality types, so it kind of ties into us, um, and what kind of things like if you pick a personality type that is related to you, some of the abilities might seem relatable. That's just kind of cool to me. I feel like I just stumbled into something fun here, and I'm looking forward to trying to implement this in Unreal using the gas system. But I guess that's it. I wanted to just explain what the like what you're going to be doing besides just shooting things, because for an ARPG, skill trees I feel like are important. But if we're going to say that we're not having like a magic system, what do we get to do? And I think wit is a really good thing that you can bring to the table. So that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I was a little more on topic this time. Thanks. Bye bye.